Good day everyone. Glad to see you again. Today we discuss about Philippine stock market. We are focusing on the 7 blue chip company listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange. 7 company running various businesses, various industries. So we can see in the next slide. The sector diversified into multi-finance, property, telecommunication, utility, bank, and infrastructure. So if we check potential investment of the 7 blue chip company in Philippines, we can learn from this next slide. The table above, we are showing true value of the high band. We compare valuation or true value in the last 3 years with the current price, and we come up with the delta. We also see the number of shares issued, and we also have revenue growth in the last column. If we see the revenue growth, the top line growth, only one company which is outstanding compared to the rest is Ayala Corporation. The rest is all below 5% growth, very small growth. If we check true value or high band, 3 company is already or still undervalued or price still below the true value, which is Aboitiz Equity Venture, Aboitiz Power, and PLDT, telecommunication company. If we check the lower band, the higher risk of the true value, we only have PLDT, which is still undervalued, but the other 6 company all already overvalued. So next we want to learn about how the stock valuation works. This is a fundamental analysis. All the data is factual, coming from the financial report, whether quarterly or annual financial report released by stock exchange or from the company website. If we use or we receive quarterly financial report, all number will be annualized. But if we receive annual financial report, so there is the number that we are using. From that number or from that financial report, we check profit and loss statement, cash flow, balance sheet, and auditor's note. From the auditor's note, we check more detail which is not available on the profit and loss, cash flow, or balance sheet. For example, is a list of the fixed asset. Maybe some cash flow do not produce depreciation and amortization or capital expenditure, but we have to check more in the auditor's note. and the expense and then income side of non-operating, we can also find some more number that can be added up or omitted. So from this process we can get free cash flow. Free cash flow we have to project for the next 10 years by using average top line growth, by comparing also with average industry growth. On the other side, we will get surplus or deficit balance sheet because working capital or the liquidation value. So those two parts, free cash flow and balance sheet, we combine with parameter of government bond yield. From there we can get two value, low and high intrinsic value. From that formula we can provide the chart like this. So we take example of SM Investment Corporation, one of the blue chip company in Philippines. So we can see three line chart. Three line, the blue line represent price, the current price, the high current price, and the other two line represent intrinsic value. The highest or the higher line is intrinsic value high band, and the lower line is intrinsic value low. So if we check this, there is a quite significant drop from 2011 to 2012. The valuation drop and growing a little or flat in 2013 for the valuation. For the price, a steep increase from 2011 until today. So if we compare today, price is above the value, so the price is already overvalued. From the stock valuation, we can also make a simulation, or we call it stock simulator. We can see in this picture, from the left side there are parameters, 9 parameters, from top line growth, average, government bond yield, capex, net income, long-term debt, short-term debt, listed stock, and dividend. One parameter, intrinsic value discount, is more popular by the name of margin of safety by Benjamin Graham. Well, as a matter of fact, this formula is taken out from the Benjamin Graham formula combined with the Warren Buffett method. From the display of the chart valuation, whether it's a fixed in the form of a stock valuation calculator like this, or valuation simulator like that, we can make or we visualize in this popular website, popular financial website, the Wall Street Journal. So our chart, stock valuation, can be inserted beside the price chart, technical chart, and from that the viewer can compare the technical and fundamental at the same time. Stock valuation can be improved with the analysis of the story of the historical chart, or drawing a narrative analysis about what's going on in this company. The narrative that I mentioned, we can take from this financial performance, the summary of the financial performance. We take one example, Aboitiz. We see there is revenue. You can see the performance growing 2% in 2011, increased by 13% a year after, and today dropped negative 12%. Total asset also dropped. Gross profit also dropped. Earning after tax, in fact, is increasing. Capital expenditure also increasing in the 2012, that reducing in the 2013. So if we see the valuation chart, you see the blue line which represent the market price. The green line is represent the intrinsic value high. So if we see, even though the top line dropped, but free cash flow increasing almost double because of earning after tax increasing and capex is reducing. So it reflects to the free cash flow. If we see the balance sheet, we see the liquidation value or the surplus is declining. But it's the most important thing in the valuation of stock is the top line and the bottom line. So free cash flow definitely is the most important thing to consider, because free cash flow will determine mostly on the trend. The trend will be up or down. So usually, despite the strong balance sheet, if they have a weak of the bottom line of the or free cash flow, bottom line may be increasing, but free cash flow is weak because of very high capital expenditure, can reflect the downtrend of the valuation. If we check the primary financial ratio, return on equity is reducing from 2011 with 56% and dropped to 27. Even though 27 is still good, profit margin is increasing because now it's 45%. It's very good margin though. gross margin in this case is lower than profit margin. So in this case, despite or besides reducing capital expenditure, company generate more income from non-operating. Non-operating income must be high enough then to pass the gross margin. If we check again that equity ratio is improving, today is below 1, 0.7. Next we see Ayala Corporation. If we see the top line, the last quarter or 2013 is growing very rapidly, above 100%. And then earning after tax also growing. Capital expenditure also cut into half. Free cash flow grow more than double. Equity also increasing. Surplus on balance sheet improving. So all the performance of the parameter according to main parameter on stock valuation, they are all improving. Return on equity actually is reducing from 18 to 13, but it doesn't quite matter. The reducing return on equity is because the growth of the equity much faster than the free cash flow, or much faster than earning after tax. The growing of the equity faster than earning after tax can tell us that the company is supposed to be investing some part of the profit elsewhere. If they think it's not quite profitable to reinvest inside the company, they have to think to reallocate the capital outside the company, because this action or this decision to invest outside the company, first of all, can reduce the amount of the equity, or the growth is not very high, so the return equity will be higher. And if the investment outside the company is growing or increasing, so the company can receive non-operating income in form of dividend paid. The other financial ratio is profit margin, also drop a little. Dividend maintain the same. Gross margin also drop. Debt equity ratio increasing because the amount of the debt employed by the company is increasing. If we check the stock valuation chart, the intrinsic value is growing the same line or alongside the growing of the price. So this company consider a growth stock, so that's why price is also growing continuously. But in terms of the investing, the price is already overvalued. Next, we see the Bank of the Philippine Islands. Company top line growth 2012, but reducing again in 2013. Trend up 13% and trend down negative 16. Total asset is growing, gross profit also growing, earning after tax growing almost double, capital expenditure is reducing, and free cash flow in this case is reducing from 2012 to 2013. Why? Despite the growing of earning after tax and reduce of capital expenditure, so there must be the non-operating expenses far above the non-operating income. So that's why free cash flow is reducing. If we see the financial ratio, return on equity is dropping quite significantly because equity is increasing from 8 billion to 100 billion. It's very significant improvement. So there is must be some strategic investor coming into this company. If we see again the profit margin also improving quite significantly, gross margin also increasing, that equity is very high in the 2011 to 2012, but reducing in the last year 2013. Next is Meralco, Manila Electric Company. Revenue dropped minus 9% after 2 years improving. Total asset maybe we can skip this Manila Electric Company. This must be a quite mistake in this last quarter or quarter 1 2013. Let's skip it, and we are going to see the PLDT, Philippine Long Distance Telecommunication. This year the growth is flat. Other financial ratio is maintained above 20%. Gross margin, profit margin also above 20%. Debt equity ratio is quite significantly improving from 1.7 and now only 0.1. It's quite significant of payoff of the debt. You see the total debt is around 260 and drop only 16 billion. So that's quite significant payoff. So that's why you see the valuation is increasing very high and above the price. Next, SM Investment Corporation. If we see the revenue reducing over time from 10, 12 and only 2. Total asset is growing, it's double from 2011 until today. Gross profit reducing, earning after tax increasing because some factor maybe capital expenditure reduced from 24 to 20. Free cash flow increasing a little. Balance sheet is deficit. I think because the company have very significant drop in the net current asset from 900 to only 110. So if we see the amount of the debt also increasing from 105, so on 300 billion in the 2011 and increased to, well, about the same, 300 also. So that's why the valuation is flat. It doesn't grow, but is reducing from 2011. If we see the return on equity is 27 from 234 because of increase quite significantly of the equity from 15 billion to 280. Gross margin maintained to level above 70%, profit margin above 15%. Debt equity is fell from 19 to 1.03. It's quite significant drop of the debt to equity is because the increase of the number of the equity. So let's finish up, everyone. So we see more in the other analysis of the other countries. Thank you.